So if you've been following our social media over the last couple of weeks, you'll know that we've been evicted from this office and we're looking for a new home, so to speak. So as with ending any tenancy and starting any new tenancy, we're going to have to talk about bond. Now we do know, as a lot of you will probably know, that landlords and real estate agents will very often try and do whatever they can to keep some or all of that bond money that you paid as a renter. And as a renter, kind of forefront in your mind when you're ending a tenancy is usually, how do I get as much or all of that bond money back? So let's hear from a renter about their experience trying to get their bond back from their landlord.
Hey, I'm Jemima. I'm the Policy and Advocacy Coordinator at the Tenants Union New South Wales. But I'm also a renter. As a renter, I have moved a lot. That's what we do. That's what us renters do. We move a lot and not always by choice. So I have a lot of bond stories, but rather than tell you my bond war stories, I have whittled down from all of that experience 4 top tips. Number one top tip for your bond when making a bond claim. Make sure that you have taken lots and lots of photos when you move in and that you take lots and lots of photos when you move out. So one of the things that came up for us, for example, in my last move was the condition of our lawn. The landlord was convinced that my puppy dog Carly had made the lawn very patchy, but we had photos of the lawn at the start because we could see it was a bit patchy when we moved in. And then we had photos at the end. And actually the difference between the lawn, it wasn't that big. Number 2, preemptive chat. Get in touch with your landlord or agent early on after you've given notice or you get an eviction notice, and do like a little walkthrough and work out what are the issues, what are the concerns, because sometimes you can iron it out early. So my number 3, third top tip, assert your rights. One of the things that as a pet owner, one of the things that I know comes into a lot of tenancy agreement is that they put in this clause saying you have to professionally clean the carpet or fumigate if required, if you've had where you've had a pet. And so when we did that preemptive walk around, actually I think the agent said to me, okay, so when are you organising the fumigation? And I said, I'm not organising a professional fumigator. They said, but it's your obligation. You have to do that. And I said, no, I've signed the lease. I know the term, but what that says is that if there's evidence that there's a problem with fleas or some other kind of pests, then it's on me to make sure the fumigator comes in and I need to pay for that. But I don't think I can't see any evidence of fleas, and I'm really happy to do a walk around with you and check all of the corners and nooks and crannies, and we can inspect my poor puppy dog, but she doesn't have fleas, so I'm not paying for a fumigator. And look, to be honest, agent and landlord weren't thrilled with that, but I stood firm and I asserted my rights. Number 4. Claim your bond. I think this is a really great tip, and quite a few people don't know about it, is that you don't need to have your landlord or agent's signature on a claim for your bond. You can make the claim for your bond just directly with the rental bond board. The minute that you've handed back the keys, you can call in, go online, get the form, fill it in, and make a claim for whatever you think is reasonable. And what that does is it then puts it on the landlord or agent to actually go forward and make an application to tribunal if they dispute. And they have to weigh up, do we have the evidence? Would we be able to convince a tribunal member? And a lot of times they realize actually we don't, and they drop a claim. So yeah, my 4 top tips. Really document photos in the condition report, what it's like when you move in, what it's like when you move out. Number 2, have preemptive chats when you're moving out, and actually all throughout your tenancy wherever concerns come up. Number 3, assert your rights. Don't back down. Be confident where you're sure that actually you're not liable. You just hold firm and make your argument, make your case. And number 4, claim your bond. Be on the front foot. Cheers, good luck.
So check out the comments where we're going to drop some sample letters, fact sheets, a handy online tool, and some other resources that can help you if you're struggling with your bond. Or if you really need some legal advice, contact your Tenants Advice and Advocacy Service. We'll put the contact details below.